NASCAR just slammed the brakes on Cletus McFarland at the exact moment a lot of fans thought they should be hitting the gas. And that's exactly why this story has exploded. Because every week in NASCAR, veteran drivers make mistakes. They spin, they crash, they miss pit road, they struggle for results, and still get the next opportunity. But when a newcomer like Cletus shows up bringing millions of new eyes to the sport, finishing races, keeping the car mostly clean, and surviving a brutal learning curve, the expectations suddenly feel very different. And that's where the controversy begins. Cletus McFarland, whose real name is Garrett Mitchell, has officially been denied approval to run the NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series race at Talladega after his recent debut at Rockingham. NASCAR reviewed his performance, his experience level, and his overall progression, and decided he is not ready for a super speedway in that series just yet. Instead, they want to see more development first. More seat time, more consistency, more learning. That decision immediately sparked debate across the NASCAR world. Because here's the interesting part. Cletus is already approved for ARCA, trucks, and O'Reilly short tracks. He's not being shut out of racing. He's being held back from the biggest, fastest, most dangerous tracks. And fans are split right down the middle. Some say NASCAR is protecting safety and the integrity of the sport. Others say a driver bringing this much attention should be moving forward faster, not slower. And both sides have strong arguments. Cletus isn't just another rookie trying to make it. He's one of the biggest automotive creators on the planet, with millions of followers and a massive built-in audience that follows him wherever he goes. That kind of reach is rare in motorsports. And NASCAR knows it. Teams know it. Fans definitely know it. At Rockingham, he ran a double-duty weekend competing in both ARCA and the O'Reilly Series. In ARCA, he impressed many by finishing fourth, staying on the lead lap, and keeping the car clean in a solid, controlled performance. That was his first real sign that he can compete at a decent level in stock cars. But later that same day, reality hit in the O'Reilly race. He started deep in the field, struggled with grip, got loose multiple times, and even spun after a mid-race incident. He also served a speeding penalty and lost track position early. Still, he brought the car home in one piece. Not fast, not flawless, but intact. And that matters more than people think. Because NASCAR isn't just about speed, it's about survival, control, and learning under pressure. Even Richard Childress Racing admitted the race didn't give them everything they needed to evaluate him fully. There were no live pit stop conditions, and the race quickly turned into damage limitation rather than full performance evaluation. That's part of why NASCAR decided to delay superspeedway approval. Not because he failed, but because they want more data, more evidence, more proof. Cletus himself addressed it directly. He admitted he's still learning, still adjusting, and still building experience. He called it frustrating, but also part of the process. And that mindset is important, because even inside NASCAR, not everyone agrees on how to handle this situation. Richard Childress has been one of his biggest supporters. He believes Cletus brings value far beyond just racing results. According to him, even a small percentage of Cletus's audience engaging with NASCAR could bring thousands of new fans into the sport. That's something NASCAR has been trying to solve for years, how to attract a younger, digital-first audience. From that perspective, Cletus is a goldmine. But there's another side. Veterans like Mark Martin have taken a more measured view. They don't deny his talent, but they also make it clear, talent alone isn't enough. These cars, these tracks, and especially superspeedways, require experience, discipline, and control. And right now, that's still developing. NASCAR executives echoed that same sentiment. They've made it clear this isn't personal. It's not political. It's not about popularity. It's about readiness. Superspeedways like Talladega and Daytona are not forgiving. One mistake can take out half the field. That's why NASCAR is cautious about who they approve. Still, they haven't closed the door. That's the key detail most people miss. Cletus is not rejected from NASCAR. He's not banned. He's being developed. He can still race ARCA. He can still race trucks. He can still run O'Reilly short tracks. He just needs more time before stepping into the biggest stage. And that's where this becomes interesting. Because every race he runs now becomes part of a bigger evaluation. Every lap matters. Every mistake matters. Every clean finish matters. And every improvement pushes him closer to the next approval level. The numbers also tell part of the story. When he appeared at Rockingham, viewership in the series saw a noticeable boost compared to the previous year. Ratings went up, audience engagement increased, more attention followed. Now, it's impossible to prove he alone caused that rise. But it's also impossible to ignore the timing. Because when a creator with millions of followers enters NASCAR, people follow. That's just reality. And NASCAR knows it's sitting on something valuable but fragile. On one hand, they want growth. On the other hand, they need safety. And balancing those two things is exactly what this decision is about. From a performance standpoint, Cletus has shown both promise and limitation. He's had moments of control and awareness. He's also had moments of inexperience and over-aggression. That's normal for a developing driver. The key question is how quickly that improves. Because if he continues gaining experience in ARCA and trucks and starts putting together cleaner, more consistent runs in O'Reilly short tracks, the conversation will change fast. Not is he ready, but why isn't he already approved? That's the path NASCAR seems to be setting. Slow progression, measured approval, earned opportunities. And now everything depends on what comes next. Because this isn't a closed door. It's a checkpoint. And Cletus McFarland still has a chance to pass it. The only question is whether his learning curve can keep up with the momentum he's already bringing to the sport. And that's what makes this story so important. Because this isn't just about one driver. It's about NASCAR's future direction. Growth versus safety. Entertainment versus experience. Speed versus control. And right now, Cletus McFarland sits right in the middle of all of it,